Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Or if this is your first time seeing one of my videos, welcome. Today we're just gonna enjoy some more of the infant and toddler content that came with the new expansion pack. There's also a ton of new base game content, so you'll see that as well. The first room we're gonna look at is this really adorable pink nursery. It's meant for a newborn, an infant, and a toddler, so you can either have two kids here or it can just be a convenient space for an infant that ages up to a toddler. My first impression of these new items for infants, definitely versatile swatches, very like neutral aesthetics. I just found them so cute and they seem really compatible across all packs. I think that was probably what the team was going for, and I think it was a great choice. I am also such a sucker for cute clutter, and this was so perfect for me. The teddy bear on the unicorn is just the cutest thing in the entire world. I loved those little crafty clutter pieces from the new expansion pack. Perfect. I've also found that a lot of the clutter sizes up really well, which is such a relief because sometimes you just want to be able to see something better. The little toys just feel so off for my gameplay sometimes. When I placed down the changing table, I also noticed something weird where different trash cans don't necessarily slot, and it says it's a size issue, but it didn't really seem to add up to me. I filmed this like right after the pack came out, and things have changed a lot. There have been some updates along the way, so I might have just missed a new update, but for some reason the trash cans weren't slotting for some of them. It's kind of a bummer anyway because I love the feature that you can swap out the trash cans. And next I'm showing actually the first build that I made with the new update. So if it looks a little goofy and like I used every single item, it's probably because I was super excited just to test out everything, see every single swatch. So this build definitely features some of my favorite items in the base game update and the Growing Together expansion pack. First, I really love the decals that came with the pack. There's a lot of like trees, it's mostly like natural themed, and I really don't gravitate toward using decals at all, but those make me want to use decals for sure. All of the swatches are adorable, can help you to definitely have a whole cohesive nursery theme. I also love those tiny little bookshelves that are on the walls. I kind of wish they had something for adults that was that sort of aesthetic because I think it's totally precious. I love that it doesn't take up a whole bunch of room and you can so easily free place it. I love the mobile that came with the pack as well. I think probably the reason is that it looks like an actual piece of art. I think that I'm gonna do that in a future like modern tiny home build. I think that would be a really cool hanging piece of art. Speaking of art though, I was really underwhelmed with like any of the pictures that were included. It felt like the expansion pack didn't really have much in the way of photos or like wall sculptures, which I would really like. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I need to download some CC. But anyway, I actually use this build right now. It's in my current save file for a young couple who has an infant that I just aged up to being a toddler. So this is kind of my like first ever infant room. So it's always going to have a little bit of nostalgia for me, I guess. If you'd like to have any of these rooms in your save file, you can go onto the gallery and download them. My EA ID can be found in the description box below. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd love it if you'd like the video and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content like this. Though I'm not sure how many more nurseries I will be posting. Maybe some gameplay, but maybe we'll hold off on nurseries for a while after this. At this point, I'm really starting to see a pattern in my build habits where I just really enjoy a themed child's room. I am not totally sure what it is, but I'm totally drawn to the all the star themed, space themed, science theme, nature theme, you name it. I love seeing a space come together and seeing how many different items I can stuff into the build. This nursery was meant to be small, like if you had two Sims who were just getting a starter home kind of energy, and this was their first infant. This is kind of the room that I would imagine that they would have. I also think nurseries that are smaller feel a little bit more realistic to me. I think maybe an adult bedroom with like a small nursery space in it would be really cool because that just feels a little bit more like what you see day to day. Like nurseries are, sometimes the size of like a good sized bathroom. So I liked this one. It felt like changing it up in terms of like layout a little bit compared to some of the other builds here. Also, I know I'm not alone in this. Sometimes all of the EA pre-build spaces are just way too big. Sometimes it's nice to know my sim isn't going wild with their autonomy, but I know they're going to be in this like small space without like a ton of distractions. The Sims 4 Sims are not the brightest of the bunch. Now I'm kind of tempted to make a nursery in my Sim's bedroom. Up next, we have this really precious playroom area that is like pink theme in general, but I wanted to have a space that was just totally filled with toys. Little bit more of a focus on like play, being a playroom in this one than being like a nursery space with a changing table and all that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed this U stool. I would say, though, I would have loved more swatches and maybe different animals. I just am having a hard time putting it together in any build because when do you see an ewe or ram or whatever just out and about, relevant to children's themed nurseries? It didn't really make a lot of sense to me, so wish we had a few more swatches on that one. Also, where are all the love seats in this pack? Nowhere to be found. A few chair options, some comfy chairs, which I'm sure will be great and I should use in my nurseries, but no love seats. That's my favorite to put in little kids' rooms. I just imagine that's where reading time happens, so I don't know. I think that was a missed opportunity. And once again, shout out to this kids' play tent from Dream Home Decorator. It somehow fits in these tiny little spaces. I don't get it, but it adds a really cool element to my room, so I'm gonna keep using it. I'll be honest, I'm biased, but if you're a builder and you don't have the Dream Home Decorator pack, this is not an ad. You probably should. It's very useful and you can open up so many creative options for your builds. And in our final build, this is kind of a bonus build. This is actually a child's room. Sorry, I cheated. But it's kind of the child's equivalent of the space themed nursery that I made earlier. I got to use some of the fun decals that came with the expansion pack and combined it with some of the pre-existing items that we have in the game. It honestly reminds me a lot of Toy Story. It gives me very nostalgic vibes, especially with the primary blue, red, and yellow palette. I love it. I will say, I don't think that Growing Together skimped on the children's content. I had a lot of fun making this room, and it felt like I could draw from plenty of things. I love the little new, like, wireless speaker that came with the pack, it seems just very realistic. Again, I love a little bit of realism, little tiny touches throughout my gameplay. Honestly, I think I could probably make an entire video essay just on my feelings about The Sims, simulations, realism, what the community asks for from EA, the reason why people make the mods they do. I find it fascinating. And a reminder, if you're interested in downloading any of these builds for your save file, you can find my EA ID in the description box and you can download it for yourself. I want to thank you so much for watching my video. It means so much to me. I'm really trying to make YouTube a full-time priority for me, so thanks. And if you haven't gotten a chance to subscribe, here's your invitation, and I hope I will see you all next time. Bye.